Alright, so in this video, I'm just going to be talking to you guys about why most people do not succeed in online business or just trying to make money online. And if you don't know who I am already, my name's Nick. I'm 19 years old. I do TikTok shop now. But just a couple years ago, back in like 2023, I was just a kid in high school who honestly had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I worked multiple fast food jobs and literally saved whatever I could, but not for typical reasons like college and things like that. I would use all that money that I would get from my jobs to simply invest it into learning skills on how to make money online, because that's really all I wanted to do. I didn't want to work a regular job or anything like that. That was like my worst fear, to be honest. And I knew that a ton of people were actually making money online at the time. I just did not know how to start or what to do. I remember the first thing I tried was drop shipping. I gave that one about a month and then I failed, and then I stopped and I jumped to a straight another business model. And this is the first point to why most people fail and don't succeed, is because they keep jumping from business model to business model after something doesn't work for a month or two. Like, you'll try a business for a month or two and it won't work, or you won't get any results that you wanted to, even if it's just a little results. Like, you'll try a new business model for a month or two and you don't get results, so the first thing you do is just quit and go back to living a normal life like everybody else. Like, there's no point in doing that. The first thing you need to understand is that most people won't succeed simply because they're just not willing to sacrifice enough. First thing I realized was obviously I needed more time to learn skills to make money online, because 2 hours a day wasn't cutting it. And so when I actually realized what I needed to do and that I needed more time, I took actionable steps and I switched to online school my whole junior year of high school. That meant I was giving up basically my entire social life, because while everybody was at school at that time, I was clocking in from like 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. every single day so that I could actually have money to invest into potentially learning how to make money online. Like, none of this stuff was guaranteed. I didn't know for sure if I was going to make money online or not, but I still was willing to sacrifice all this stuff knowing that it wasn't 100% guaranteed. Like, that's the delusion that you kind of need to have, especially in online business when things don't come easy. You basically have to completely go against what's normal and believe that it's going to work even if everybody else is telling you it's not. Because at the end of the day, if you live like 99% of people, you're going to get what 99% of people have. And obviously the best things to have are the things that are hard to get. But yeah, I was even playing sports at the time, so that was like my only social life. That was basically the only time my brain ever felt like it was getting a rest throughout my day. Because from straight when I would wake up at 6 a.m., I was clocking into a fast food job until about 2 p.m. and then I would go straight home, eat like one meal and go straight to practice at around 2:30. I wouldn't get done with my practice until about 7 p.m. And then as soon as I would get done with practice, I would literally just go home, eat one meal, and spend the rest of my night trying to learn how to make money online. And then I would also have online school to do, because me switching to online school didn't like get rid of school completely. I still had to do classes online. It was just I could do these classes a lot quicker than having to do them in person and spend 6 hours at a school day, when I could just finish a 6-hour school day basically in 30 minutes with online classes. It was just a lot easier. But still, basically, long story short, I was using every second of my day to get myself out of the position that I was already in. And most people just aren't willing to do that. In order to get results that you don't already have, you have to change things about what you're doing. It's like you want the results, but you don't want to change the way you're living. You can't have both, bro. Now, I might have already brought this up already, but the second point I want to make to why most people don't make it in online business, or just making money online in general, or just doing what's hard in general, is because they don't stick to one thing. Now that I look back on it, when I tried out dropshipping and email copywriting before I got into any of this TikTok stuff, 100% believe I could have made either of those business models successful for me if I had just stuck it out for longer than 2 months and then giving up. I can tell you this right now, every single business model out there pretty much works. It's all about how long you can stick through it without making any money to become the best at it. And there's this quote I heard from Alex Hormozi one time, and it was talking about how, like, let's say you're the sun, you obviously have more than enough power or sunlight to burn through a piece of paper, but if that energy is spread out everywhere, you're just warming the paper and you're not breaking through anything. Like, most of you guys are just spread out so much that you don't have time to actually break through on one thing and get results that'll ultimately get you to the next thing you need to get to. Now, the third reason is simply arrogance. You'd be surprised, but a lot of people hear about an opportunity and instantly think it's a scam. 1000% there's scams out there. And I'm just saying, like, if you refuse to believe something will work, then you're 100% guaranteeing that it'll never work for you, because you're just throwing it out of the way. You're not gonna actually try it or anything like that. Like, me personally, I had the mindset of I would much rather lose this money on this course or whatever than spend that $100 on fucking food or something for the next month. Like, it's just simple priorities, guys. Like, are you willing to risk losing money that you worked for to potentially make money back from it, or are you just going to continue to be a consumer and use consumer habits? This one's pretty self-explanatory, but another reason most people don't make it is simply because of work ethic. Let's be honest here, we live in a world where most people can't sit down and read 20 pages of a book for the next 15 days in a row. Like, bro, just think to yourself right now, if you truly dedicated yourself to reading 20 pages of a book for the next 15 days straight, I know a lot of you would not be able to do that. Just be real with yourself. And I'm definitely not saying this to be rude, because I used to be that person. Like, our brains are so fucking fried now nowadays just because of how many distractions there are out there right now. That's also a good thing, because if you know how to not get distracted by them, there's so much less competition for guys like us. Like, if you can't even dedicate yourself to reading 20 pages of a book for the next 15 days, how do you even expect yourself to be able to sit in front of a computer screen for let alone 4 hours a day and try to learn something? There was literally some nights I couldn't even sleep just because I was thinking constantly about the roadblocks that I couldn't get over. So many people would quit at that moment. I had so many different thoughts about quitting, or if this was all even worth it, or if everything was just a lie. Everybody's gonna go through those thoughts, but it only matters if you push through. Because one thing that I've personally learned is oftentimes you get everything you ever wanted after the hardest point, or like the point to where you're almost about to give up. You just honestly have to be so uncomfortable with your current situation that there's no other option, and you're just not gonna give up. Like, that's to the point to where I'm at now. I've seen so much of the success already, and I've gone through so much trials and errors already to just like where there's no other option for me at this point. And then also back to how I was playing sports and that practice would take up like 3 hours of my entire day in the afternoon. I knew that I wasn't having enough time learning an online skill because it still took me over a year before I made any money. And so another sacrifice I had to make was even eliminating more of my social life. That was pretty much all I had left, which was playing baseball. And so I quit baseball, and it wasn't easy to do that. That's a sport that I basically loved, and I had played it all my life. But at that point, I had gotten mature enough to realize that if you're not D1 in high school, you're most likely not going to go to the league, and it's just as simple as that. And I was also delusional enough to believe that I had a better shot at making money online, and just most people aren't humble enough to admit that to themselves. But by the end of my junior year of that whole grind stage and pretty much no social life at all, I was still working my fast food job, and I was starting to get into how to make money with TikTok, because at this time TikTok had a program called the Creativity Program Beta, which is now called the Creator Rewards Program. But it's a program basically where you get paid for posting a video over a minute long, and once you get your account to 10,000 followers, you would be able to join that program, and for every video that you post over a minute long, for every 1,000 views you got on it, you would get paid $1. And this was way before TikTok Shop even was a thing. But I went 6 months into this business model without making a single penny, simply because I saw the potential in it, and I saw just like how learning the skill of going viral on social media is such a good skill, because where attention goes, money flows, and it's just as simple as that. Like, you can sell any product with a group of eyeballs on it, no matter what it is. But after about 6 months of trial and error and just learning how the algorithm worked, the first penny I ever made, on the day that I made my first ever penny online, that was literally the month that I made $6,000. And this was all from posting videos to TikTok. So after this, my entire perception on how money was made and what money was completely different from my perception of money when I was just working at fast food. And right after I hit this month, I immediately quit that job. And I kept running with that business model for a long time, where I was just getting paid per my views. And it was definitely inconsistent after that. Like, some months I was making like $2,000, some months I was making $500, some months I was making like $5,000, because I was still learning at that time. A lot of people like to think that as soon as they get their first big paycheck, which $5,000, $6,000 is not a lot of money, but as soon as they make a little bit of money online, they immediately get arrogant and think that they know everything about the business model and won't continue to invest more money into learning more about it and getting better at it. But I do think making that money in that time period was really big for me, because I did have moments after that where I still contemplated if I wanted to keep going. In that moment of me making the money online really just showed me that all this shit is actually possible. And I do think that that kept pushing me forward a bit. Now fast forward to 2025, a few years later, TikTok Shop came out. I learned about that ever since it came out like a year ago. Now I run multiple TikTok Shop accounts and make 20 to 30K a month. And it all just came from doing the things that most people aren't willing to do. Making the sacrifices that most people refuse to make. Being delusional enough to believe that I was actually gonna be able to prosper with this type of stuff. Learning that I had to stick to one thing until I actually broke through with it, and not jumping from business model to business model. I completely dropped all of my arrogance and was completely open to learning. And I was just ready to outwork basically everybody around me. Most people won't do all 5 of those things, and that's why most people don't get what they want. But if you guys do want to be around people who do all those 5 things, I'll have a free community link down below where I basically teach people how to do what I do now. And this is just going to be a perfect place for you to network with people trying to do exactly what you're doing. I'm also going to link the premium group down below as well. This group's just full of people who are absolutely killing it with TikTok Shop right now. And yeah, I can definitely say that these guys in premium have hit all those 5 things, because at this point they're investing into their knowledge and they're getting better and learning the skill set. The longer you sit around and wait and contemplate doing something that'll actually get you out of a position you don't want to be in, the harder you're making it on yourself, because at the end of the day, the people who start before you are the people that have an advantage over you. I obviously wouldn't be anywhere near where I'm at today if I didn't start when I started. So yeah, boys, it's basically all I had to yap about today. I just wanted to kind of show you guys kind of how I got into this position at 19 years old. And I definitely think I still have a long ways to go. By no means do I think I made it yet. Yeah, if you guys made it to the end, I do appreciate you for watching this. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like, and even leave a comment down below letting me know what type of situation you're in or what you're dealing with, and I'll see how I can help you, man.